My name is Kieran Connolly and I'm from an agency called Profile Tree. So why bother with a digital strategy? So it's never been more important to be visible online today. And we all know everything is digital at the moment. And of course, as we start to open up our economies back again to some sort of normal, we can see that this is going to continue. Customers have been forming new habits over the last year. Our customers are really getting used to shop online, as we are too. More content is being consumed and people are getting used to paying for digital subscriptions. So the question is, how is your business fitting into this trend at the moment? The first thing we need to be aware of is digital is a long-term strategy. We have to be patient to get the results, and we have to invest a good bit of time or money or both to achieve these results. And one thing to mention is that we only see it becoming harder. As an agency, we can only see it becoming harder and more difficult to win in digital every day. So today really is the best time to start and really focus on your digital strategy for 2021. Also, just to say, while it is getting harder, there's never been as many opportunities online as there is today. We can sell to the whole world and use digital to create a business in the clouds. And that'll be the only buzzword I'll use today. But I want to highlight it's not too late to start. So there's new opportunities opening up every single day. And in this presentation, I'm going to show you how to spot these for yourself. So just to highlight this on this image that we have here, it shows a brand that we're working with. And you can see pre-2020, they didn't really exist online. Yet today, they've over 13,000 monthly visits from Google and rank for over 6,000 keywords. So they've been laser focused and follow their own digital strategy. And just to highlight again, the main reason I see people fail online is that they don't actually take action. So I'm driving the point home today is to take some notes, but more importantly, take some action on some of these points today, because you will see how they can influence and impact and improve what you're doing online. So again, people who don't succeed online tend not to post content. They don't invest a little bit of time learning about social media, and then they don't go and chat to potential customers on social networks or on their own website as well. So to really do well, you need to create your own content. And again, I see some of our Digi Growth Program members here on this webinar today, and it's great to see you all. So thank you for taking time out and joining. And I know some of you have actually doubled their traffic online since going through the program over the last couple of months. And their businesses have been in lockdown like many others, but they have managed to tweak their business slightly and grow their business online while their competition is asleep. So again, we want to look at how you can do this today. So very, very, very important that, as I say, while it is hard, there's still a lot of opportunities to grow online. So to succeed in digital, you need to be consistent and create content for our customers. You need to be online wherever your customers are. So again, if your customers are on LinkedIn, you need to be on LinkedIn. If they're on Facebook, you need to be on Facebook. And every different platform has different types of users and pros and cons. And if you're not at the point of creating your own content yet, and you haven't got over that little block of creating that first piece of content, what I'd suggest is that you actually engage in content that other people are posting. So engage on your connections content, engage on your customers' content. And this can be as simple as commenting, liking, or sharing someone's post on social media. I often see companies who are not sure what they're doing or what they want to do. They've no goals. They're wasting their limited resources and not getting a return on what they're doing online. And then they get impatient and give up. And again, I'm sure we've all done that and seen that. We've just passed January. So again, back to the New Year's resolution. So what I want to do is, again, encourage you not to give up on your digital journey. You will, if you maintain your consistency, you will get the results. So if you think about your competitors or the market leaders in your space, they will have had a strategy to get them to that point. So now you need an even better strategy to beat them. And as I say, today we're going to work on creating one. So if you can grab your pen and paper, and we're going to jot down a few answers to some questions, and we'll run through the slides if that's okay. So what I want to do is ask you, do you have an aim or a target? Where do you want to get to online? What do you want from your digital strategy, from your online presence? Do you want 500 people to visit your website every month? Or do you want to sell 5 items every day through your e-commerce platform? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to be number one in search results for your product or service? So what is that goal? What do you want to achieve? The second question I want to ask you is, who is your audience? So are they professionals who work in an office? Are the mums and dads working from home at the moment? Are they teenagers or people in the mid-20s or 30s who like to explore and try new things? So what is your audience and who are you targeting in 2021? And I'm asking this because this has probably changed over the last year. So if I was asking this in February 2020 and you were targeting office workers who commute maybe 30 minutes to their office and then came out and got lunch maybe twice a week at a coffee shop or restaurant, and you were that coffee shop, well, today your target audience has to be different because that's not there at the moment, and hopefully it'll come back. So who are you targeting in 2021? Do you know your customers well? And what I mean by that is, have you looked at any of your analytics? So again, if you have a website or social media, have you checked out any of your analytics to see what people are consuming, what posts they're liking, engaging on, what pages on your website they're visiting? So get to know your customers. So do you know your customers well? And if you haven't looked at your analytics, I want you to take an action today that you're going to actually do that after this workshop. Do you allocate enough time or budget to digital? So just to highlight, if you were to invest 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that gives you 7 hours per month. So it doesn't take long to build up a volume of time on digital marketing. So can you do half an hour a day? Can you do 45 minutes? And is it worth it? And I will argue, and I'll illustrate to you today that it definitely is. So we, just again to highlight, we have to invest time or money to get the results. So in this slide here, new opportunities, and this is what we all want to know and understand in these tough days. So when we're looking at digital strategy, we want to really look at marketing basics. Actually, there's loads of hacks and tips that are relevant for the current time or for today, but will not work tomorrow. But the marketing fundamentals are always the same. And one of those is actually spotting new opportunities. And as I say, even in these tough days. So hopefully some of you have heard of Google Trends. And this screenshot is from Google Trends. So around us at the moment, there's so many opportunities opening up. There's new emerging markets. There's opportunities being created by COVID, the lockdown, by Brexit. And then, of course, the traditional things that happen in normal business life. Changes in consumer behavior and demand. We often hear that if we can fix a real problem for people, we will have a business for life. And we as business leaders need to spot the opportunities for our business. Think of all of the companies who are able to pivot during the first lockdown and make PPE or hand wash over the last year, for example, or the restaurants going into home delivery, or the people selling their skills online for the first time ever. Amazing successes in very difficult times. So can you talk to companies that and see other companies or other people and see what challenges or problems they're having at the moment? We know of companies, for example, that are having difficulties sourcing parts from around the world, and it's a global issue. And what they're looking for is companies to pivot locally and produce raw materials for them. So there's opportunities everywhere. Can you solve other companies' problems? And think again that these problems today are challenges that people would not have had even in December just gone by, because things are changing so much. Think of the changes with Brexit as well, never mind COVID. So back to this image. So again, go to Google Trends. So if you go to google.com, and that's what my ask is from this slide. So I want you to go to google.com after the webinar and type in Google Trends. When the web page opens, test ideas or keywords that describe your business. There could be ideas or services that you currently offer, or ones that you could offer in the future, and you want to see if they're going to be popular or not. See if you can find hidden opportunities. As I said, this is a live tool, and it is incredible for market research. It will also give you the top performing keywords or search terms underneath the chart, so you can see for any country or any region in the world. And this one here is showing, it's showing houseplants. So if we look at this, we can see over 12 months ago, houseplants in the UK, it wasn't that popular. So the blue chart is showing how popular it is in search terms. So 12 months ago, it wasn't that popular. And then we can see there's been very rapid spikes in growth where it's doubled and tripled in demand. Well, actually, when I dove into the keywords and percentages underneath this chart, it was telling me that the phrase houseplants online, the searches for that over the last year have increased 400%. And houseplants online UK has also increased 400%. Best houseplants has increased 140%. So, and again, if you look at the dotted line, that's showing it's what Google is predicting for the future. So it's going to get even hotter. So again, for people in maybe garden centres or which are closed and they may be facing challenges as well, actually going and seeing what people are searching for and realising, okay, people now are wanting to decorate their homes and plants, and it's a massive industry at the moment and massive opportunities. How can we service that? And they can change their messaging, their marketing, what they're posting online, and hopefully pick up some of this demand. So again, what I'd like you to do, so hopefully you've written that down, and after this webinar, you're going to go and check that for your own business. So anyone that knows me will know how passionate I am around Google Maps. It is an incredible free tool that you need to use for your business. So your task from this slide is to take 5 or 10 minutes a day and check your profile on Google Maps. If you don't have one, take this time to create one. Every business should have a Google Map profile. Sign into, it's called Google My Business, and see what new features are available since the last time you logged in or create your account. And the last statistic I have from Google on the number of monthly users to Google Maps is 1.5 billion. So it's one of the most popular mapping tools in the world. Your customers use it, and possibly every time they're looking for a local service or local business to buy from, they're probably using Google Maps or seeing it as well. So if you're not there and they're in a really strong profile, you're missing opportunities. So some things to check on your profile today. So can you check if your phone number and address are correct? Have you updated your COVID position? So are you opened, or have you implemented really safe handling because of COVID? Put that onto your profile. Have you listed all of your services on the profile? Again, you can list your services. How many photos and videos have you added to your profile? So again, take this time to add them from your mobile phone or computer right into your profile. It's unlimited how many you can add. So definitely just take a few minutes out and do that, and then get a link from your profile and share it with customers and ask them to write a review. So these are all easy things to do. It's free as well, but it can have an incredible impact on your digital profile. Omnichannel. So again, I promised no buzzwords, but here's my second one. So apologies for that. So omnichannel marketing is, and it does sound great. It really means marketing across multiple channels or platforms with a consistent voice. And my challenge to you here is that we all aim to reach our customers in different ways and on different platforms. But have you actually thought about how you do this? Are you linking all your channels together, your social media, your email, your website? So we really need to approach this in a strategic way. It's the only way we can really engage with our customers today. And I'm asking you, what is your overall strategy? Are your touch points redirecting your customers to your shop? Or are you in the mindset of, oh my dear, I haven't posted on Facebook in a week, I need to jump on and post something? So are you posting randomly on social networks, but without a real clear target or goal from this? And if you are, you're possibly wasting your valuable time. So really what omnichannel means is that you need to have a strategy around all your networks and a common goal. What do you want people to do? So there's no point in just randomly posting on social media or sending out an email or writing a random blog if it's not going to answer a question or help a potential customer. You genuinely are wasting your time. And if you see no engagement on your post on social media, then again, just question what you're doing there. Your post may not be seen by anyone at all. So do look at your analytics, and maybe you can invest that time somewhere else in your business. So, and I see a question being asked. So we are going to send out the recording and the slides from today. So you get that in a week or so once we've them out of the bag. So you will get that for sure, no problem. So the questions I want you to ask are, so where do you want your customers to go? Is it do you want them to go to your website? What action do you want them to take? Is it to purchase something or to sign up for something, a subscription? Where are your customers? Back to your target audience. Are they most likely to be on LinkedIn or Instagram? Because the user profiles for those two platforms are very different, and it's unlikely that your core customers are going to be on all of those platforms. Sure, people will be across a wide range, but you will have one or two platforms that you should really be focusing on. So if you're targeting parents, it would be Facebook, for example, with so many groups and communities around and share so many things on Facebook. If you're after professionals or business owners, it's going to be LinkedIn. So you need to pick your where you're going to focus and have a real strategy of that. What are you aiming to do? Where do you want to send people? What is the call to action? So marketing, no matter what you do, is going to cost you one of two things, as I mentioned already, time or money. And if you have the budget, of course, you can do all of this with adverts, but costs are rising for adverts. And having a strong mix of organic reaching out and relationship building and advertising is definitely the best way to move forward. Video is still king. So even this is a video, this workshop is a video. So my question is, have you got video in your marketing mix yet? And there's some great ways to do this. Zoom, so you can share your knowledge or experience through a Zoom. You can create a video without even appearing on screen, but be behind the camera and talk about your product or service. What you want to do is add these videos to YouTube, or Vimeo is another good platform, but we recommend YouTube because it has over 1.5 billion daily users. And again, it's another platform from Google. So that's 3 platforms that we've talked about from Google already today. You want then to share these videos on your social media. So again, you're getting a really good return on the time you've invested creating them. You want to embed these videos onto your website as well. And with all of this, you'll get an amazing return on your investment. It's probably one of the best things that you can do today. It was last year and it still is today. And just again, one of the questions we get asked a lot is, the videos don't have to be amazing. You're like most of us, we're not video editors or Steven Spielberg. It's just not our skill set. Customers are just worried about or concerned about or want to hear the content, don't want to know about a service or product, and don't want to see real people. And that's what you can do and get across in genuine videos. So we don't need high production qualities. So a question for you from this slide is, in the last 48 hours, how many articles have you read? And how many videos have you watched? So I'll invite you to think about that for a second. So how many articles, full articles, have you read compared to how many videos have you watched? And just to see how you're consuming content online. So if you're like me, I haven't actually read any articles, which is really bad, but I've consumed a lot of video content. So I'd like you to jot down, what is your next video going to be? And if you've never created a video before and you want some tips on that, drop any questions you have into the chat, of course. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to show you a link to another video that we've created as part of the DigiGrow program, where you can educate yourself on video marketing tips and how you can actually create videos. So again, we'll have another video link at the bottom of this presentation. So subscriptions, and I find this very exciting. So this is groundbreaking for many businesses, and if you can figure out how you can introduce this into your business, it will definitely transform everything. And if you already have it in your business, I would be challenging you then, how can we enhance it? So again, subscriptions, if you think about the big tech companies like Apple, who is worth $2 trillion, and it keeps getting customers to buy its phones and software in cycles. So maybe you replace your mobile phone every 2 years or every 4 years or every 6 years. Most people do buy the same phone again, but then there's the software apps as well. And how many of those do you own? How many have you paid for with a one-off fee or a monthly fee or an annual recurring fee? You think of your business emails. We all have Netflix, I'm sure now, or Amazon Prime. In the UK, it's very popular. HelloFresh now are really driving the food deliveries that come every 2 weeks or weekly to your door. So all of these companies love subscriptions, and it turns customers or people into long-term paying customers, and that's why their business model is focused on it. So company finance is much more predictable. Customers are tied to the company for a period of time. So you can see why it is a perfect business model for any business. Perfect model, yeah, for any business. Customers, on the other hand, get the comfort of knowing that your service or product is there when they need it. And customers may also get an illusion of choice. So if you are subscribed to, say, Netflix, and there's maybe thousands and thousands of videos there, but you're probably like me and we watch the top 10 or the new releases, and we don't look at all the other content there at all. But the comfort of knowing that I have that subscription is there, and no doubt we'll be a long-term paying customer. So with COVID, I'm thinking of gyms that closed. We've seen a lot of gym owners or trainers moving online and offering training classes online for a monthly subscription. So they were trying everything they could to maintain that monthly subscription. So again, what I challenge you to do is just take 5-10 seconds here and write down what could you offer as a subscription for your business. So you may need to think out of the box. You may already have subscription in your industry or business, but I would argue nearly every business can and should have a subscription option in it. So another example is accountants. For example, we normally pay accountants once a year. So instead of having an annual billing, why not offer it monthly through direct debit, and instead of waiting for the year end for the payment, and then provide monthly value by maybe sending out an email with tips or advice. Restaurants could offer a monthly subscription and offer someone 2 free glasses of wine or priority booking or a free tea when they come in. So what can we do? What can you do in your business? How can you add subscription into what you do at the moment? And again, I think we have to change how we think. So for many businesses, it might not seem easy to do, but customers, we need to look after our customers, and customers want choice. They want security of knowing they're going to get looked after. They want ongoing support. And they want a long-term relationship, but so do we as business owners. And long-term relationships with customers are the new currency. So we pay so much in time and money, as we've already mentioned, to win a customer. We need to think how we can keep them. And a subscription is a way to catch a long-term customer. But also to note is that every time a customer sees a direct debit going out of their bank, there's a real chance that they could cancel your product or service. So we do need to still deliver real value for customers. Customers are king, and that has never been more true. And again, subscription is the perfect digital offering that you could offer to your customers. Influencers, I'm sure, yeah, we've all heard of influencers and micro-influencers. And I'm sure maybe some of you follow influencers online at the moment. But what I would like to ask you is that, and I'm starting to see this, is that I'm starting to see some influencers turning out to be like giant billboards of adverts. And it just seems to be advert after advert after advert. And there's a real risk in influencer marketing that consumers are going to be turned away from following influencers because it is advert after advert after advert. And I'm just asking you then, have you seen this and have you witnessed it? And are you still engaging or following influencers as much as you used to? So let me think about that for a second. And the reason I'm asking you that is that if I'm paying less and less attention to these large influencers, who am I watching? Who am I engaging with online? Well, it actually is real people. And back to the micro-influencers. And that's why I think it's more important than ever before. So these people are maybe doing the odd advert or engaging in that, but they're not doing it all the time. They usually have a small following of really genuine, engaged people, often our customers. And they are the real influencers, if you ask me. So I'm challenging you to think about how you could use micro-influencers in your business. And then my last question on this point is, have you ever considered yourself as a micro-influencer? Because I would argue that you are. So are you posting online, sharing your knowledge, your expertise, impressing people and generating leads for your business? Again, by engaging on social media and writing content. And if you're not, then you really should be. So you need to be aware that you are probably one of the prime micro-influencers of your business. And then the question is, so how can you be doing more to promote your business online and social media? And that's probably through creating more content and posting even more, engaging in more posts on social media. So back to the time thing, but it's real people, and that's the important thing. So new features. So again, just talking about social networks, but this can be relevant to anything online. So if you're on a social platform, they're always constantly releasing new features. And this is the same for Facebook, for Instagram, all the way through to YouTube and even Google itself. So what it says, if you're struggling to grow or feel that you've been late to join social media, for example, and you've just started on your business journey, this is one of the best ways to actually get rapid growth. So look out for new features, and you can see here I've listed some that are available in 2020. So look out for new features and focus on them more than the core platform. So if it's a new type of advert, they will normally be cheaper than more regular adverts for a period of time. If it's a new feature on the platform, most people will not be using it yet, and you have an opportunity to jump in and steal a march on all of the competition and basically hack the system. It's a great way to introduce your brand to many more people. What happens at this is that Facebook, or whatever the platform is, launches a new feature. They want it to be a success. So the few individuals that jump in there at the start and start using it straight away, and they're normally the power users on the platform, and the reason they know this is because they've done it so many times before. So I'm encouraging you to watch out and do this yourself. So if you're in there with a new feature, producing content, Facebook will promote these early adopters, this fresh content, to a much bigger audience to encourage them to explore this new feature and use it as well. So basically, this is a way to hack the social networks and get them to promote your brand. It's the same principle for all these new platforms, and you'll hear these come and go, and there'll be more next year. So just, I'm sure you've all heard of TikTok now over COVID. It has exploded and is currently the hot one. There's another one now, Clubhouse, which is an audio platform. So again, just to highlight, so TikTok is a mini video platform. So in case you haven't used it, so again, back to the video creation, and Clubhouse is just audio. And if you have time to get in on these platforms early, that's great. You can build out a brand and build a real business on it, but it does take a lot of time. And if you don't have the time, what I'd be suggesting is it's better to focus on the platforms that are more relevant to your business today. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and others. Sometimes these platforms will not make it. So again, if we think back a few years, Snapchat was the king, and it still is, and it's very important in its own niche, but it hasn't taken over the world. So again, do you spend your time investing in something that may not give you the return that you need? It might be the best thing to do. So shoppable posts. So again, this has really been getting more popular over the last year. And we see shoppable posts on Instagram, Google, Facebook, and even YouTube ads now as well. So someone can go in and actually make a purchase on the platform. So today you don't even need a fancy e-commerce site. You can just walk around your own shop and take some photos of an item and post on social media and actually sell it within social media. So the trend in e-commerce in 2020 and 2021 is to remove barriers. We're all looking at our user journey, how we can remove steps and get customers to the cart quicker. And that's the most important thing. So if you're promoting your brand on social media, the consumer and you're trying to get them to your website, the consumer has to leave your website, leave the social media platform, go to your website, add the product to the cart, go through the full checkout, add payment details and everything else. So you can see there's a lot of steps there on how you could maybe lose someone on that journey. Again, if they can actually do what we've just seen in that video, was click buy, it removes the barriers. You will be able to increase your sales. And of course, there's a commission to pay to these platforms, but shopping on social media is very easy. And we need to remember, as I mentioned, that people are forming new shopping habits right now. So over the last few months, shopping habits have changed so much, and it's hard to believe, but a lot of people now shop on social media, don't leave the platform at all. So again, should you be selling your service directly on these platforms? So Facebook groups. So Facebook groups are a great way to engage and talk to new potential customers. when you're looking for a group, I'd suggest you join one or two groups for sure. They don't have to be big in membership numbers. You're looking for engagement, so you want a group that's, if it's 100 members, but maybe there's 200 posts in a week. So it's active and people are talking to each other, and that's what's more important than anything. Even 10 or 20 people in the group is great, as long as people are engaging and active. It's a great way to promote your business through answering more through, instead of posting up, buy my service, what you want to be doing is actually watching out for people posting things and jumping in to help them, answering questions. And that is a great way. So if you're a plumber and someone has a problem with plumbing, jumping in and showing your expertise on an answer will get you more attention. And people more often than not will say, okay, can you do it for me? And that's the way we should be, the best way to market, without a doubt, instead of constantly posting, because people ignore that all the time now. You could join, I would suggest, join a local business group or two, be in there with business owners. And another thing, you can actually set up your own group. So you don't have to join someone else's. You could set up your own group and invite your own customers into it. Maybe it's customers who've bought a product. Maybe it's customers who are subscribing to a service, or this could be a new level of service that you offer, where in a private Facebook group you're going in and helping people with their problems. So content marketing, content is king, and a lot of what we're talking about is content. I know there was a great webinar from Lisburn and Castlereagh City Council yesterday on content. And again, do obviously check out their Eventbrite page and sign up to the other webinars that are planned over the next couple of weeks. We need to produce content. And on this slide, we're seeing as a broad stroke of where people are producing content at the moment. And it is very different. So the one thing that jumped out at me and surprised me, and this is from HubSpot, which is one of the marketing leaders in content creation, is the video is leading the way here. So people are really getting the message that video is king, and it is providing the best return on your investment. So, and you can use it in multiple platforms, of course. So that's why so many people, marketeers, professional marketeers, are using video as part of their strategy. Email. So when we talk about email and email marketing, it tends to be less glamorous compared to social media. Emails are one of the most effective ways to get the news from your business or offers or services out to customers and highlight what you're selling. So if we think for a few seconds, how many of you signed up for this webinar through an email newsletter? So were you notified of this and you've seen that in an email? So again, back to the power of emails. And then I'd ask you, how much time have you spent in your email inbox today already? So again, we jump into social media and we check it, that's fine. But how many minutes or hours have you spent in your inbox today? So email is old reliable. So it is incredible how many businesses don't engage in email marketing yet. So my question for you from the slide is, how can you improve or introduce email marketing to your customers? Is it by sending a newsletter of tips or advice or sale items once a month? What could you do? And if you don't have an email newsletter list, then can you start collecting those emails today? The best thing about emails is you can build a real good, genuine relationship directly with customers. You aren't being controlled by algorithms on social media like Facebook. If they change everything and your 20,000 fans on your page stop seeing all of your posts, if you've got their email addresses, you control that communication. And that's why it's so powerful. You want to retain your relationship with your customers. Voice search, again, future thing, but there is things we can do in voice today. And we're all getting used to voice in our daily lives at the moment. With Alexa all the way through to Google, we're asking computers to do our searching and help us in our daily life. The last stats I've seen is that up to 50% of searches in Google search engine are now done by voice. So incredible. For those of you who are slightly more advanced in SEO, there is a thing called schema on your website, which can be optimized for voice search. But basically, for everyone, beginners and all, how you can benefit from voice search without worrying too much about it is by adding FAQs onto your website or onto your web pages. So have an FAQ section. That's very important to have on your website. If you have that, then you've a great chance to surface when people are asking questions. So it's question and answer. Consider when and why people use voice. So it's normally when their hands are full, or maybe they're doing something around the house, or even driving. So what information could you have on your website that would help if they're at that stage? Again, just to highlight, which is very important, Google search we're talking about, and having your Google Map profile updated. So Google, 50% of searches are on Google are voice. It's people looking for restaurants near me, or plumbers near me, or business XYZ near me. And Google's getting that information from its platform, so Google Maps and its search engine. So again, that's why it's so important that you have that profile set up. You want to be found when people are looking for businesses like you nearby. So messaging apps. So very quickly on this, as I say, you're probably very used to using messages now to talk to businesses. And here's two of the most popular in the world. Both of them have free plans. And I recommend both of them if you're considering this as options to try out. So on the left, we have Mobile Monkey, and it's primarily for Facebook. So the Facebook platform. And again, it allows you to connect and have messages over and back with customers. It'll set up automatic chatbots as well. And you can put this onto your website. And again, on the right, we have respond.io, and it integrates many more external platforms, not just Facebook, into one messaging app. And again, it has a free plan and allows you to communicate with customers seamlessly. So again, should you be introducing messages into your marketing mix, make it so easy for people to contact with you and actually ask about your service. So two slides to conclude, and this is really interesting here. Again, I'd just like to highlight, don't forget about third-party platforms. And a customer or a client just asking us yesterday about building a website. They have resources that they want to sell online for education, and what we're able to suggest is actually, while they'll build out a website and they're going to create content and start to rank for it in Google, it's going to take a little bit of time. We were able to highlight platforms that they can go to today, third-party platforms that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of visitors every single year, and they're buying things on that platform. You will give the platform a little bit of commission, but it means that you can start generating revenue tomorrow. So that person was selling educational resources for children. We were suggesting go to people, teachers pay teachers, and there's loads of other platforms like that. But again, here's Airbnb. So when I think of Airbnb, I would normally think of rooms, but Airbnb also sells experiences, and they've really doubled down on this over the last couple of months. They take 20% commission from every experience they sell. But here we have a lady in Italy, I believe, and she is selling classes on how to make pasta. So if you are a local business here in the Lisburn and Castlereagh area, if you have a B&B, do you make an amazing Irish or Ulster breakfast? Is it something that you could show to or explain to people all around the world, teach them how to make a great breakfast? Do you make Irish bread or something unique? It doesn't have to be Irish, of course, but I'm just talking about food for this platform as an experience. Definitely worth checking out and seeing what that is. But of course, there's other platforms like Amazon, Etsy, eBay. Again, the accountants who I always reference because, again, get challenged about some different disciplines, but accountants can list their services to QuickBooks or any of those accountancy platforms, and they'll be recommended to their members. So no matter what you offer, product or service, there is going to be a platform out there for you to sell your services on. And the biggest advantage of that is you can be selling and generating revenue tomorrow. So definitely recommend that for sure. And then, as I say, just to conclude all of this, and one of my favorite charts ever is the hockey stick. So this is really what digital marketing is like for any business. At the start, it seems very slow and not much is happening. And this can go on for a long time. And then it kicks into place and results start to come in. But to be honest, very few people stick with digital marketing or anything new long enough to see the surging growth at the end. So there's a couple of key things that you need to consider. You need patience. You need to be consistent. There's no point in posting once a month and thinking it's going to work. It isn't. We need to be consistent and reaching out to our audience all the time. You have to build your audience up. You have to build your brand online. you need to now engage with customers and prospects online. That is expected. And you're going to have to invest in your audience. And that, again, as I mentioned, is time and money. And that's going to be creating resources and building your brand online so people will get to know you, like you, and trust you, and then purchase. And as I say, just the last thing I'd like to say is on that is don't give up, because everyone starts at zero. And it's those that keep going through the pain that actually make it and have some success.